I'm Sam. Let's make some money. I want to go over how I made about 35% over the last month. My main strategy is selling covered calls. I aim to make at least 10% every month, and this month I knocked that out of the park. So let's look in depth at some of the trades I made and how I was able to get these returns. Okay, so first up is Arena or AUPH, and I made most of my money with this stock this month. I was able to get in just under $6 and lock in a 34% profit selling my $6 call. I realized this stock was probably going to go a whole lot higher, so I ended up buying 100 shares two more times. Another I got in under $6, another I got in a little over $6, and I sold two calls at $7.50. I was able to lock in about 50% profit on both of those, and that was actually really exciting. So I actually sold two cash secured puts on those as well, and I was able to lock in about another $300 combined for a 30% profit out of my $1,000 I had to secure with Robinhood. I made a play on GameStop where I was able to get in at about $550. I sold my calls for just under $40, and GameStop expired right under that $6 mark, so I was able to lock in a 14% return on that. My next play was Hexo, and I didn't really do too hot on this. I made $7 on the first covered call I sold for 4%, and then I actually ended up losing about 32% because I didn't sell my stock after the call was expired. And Hexo just had some news which made the stock go down, and it's probably going to stay around $1.65 right now. I also made a play on Stage Stores, SSI. I had already owned 20 shares, and when I saw it starting to increase, I ended up buying another 80 shares, and as the price got closer to $5, I sold a call, and I was able to lock in a 105% profit, or just over doubling my money. I was watching the California Resources Corp, CRC, and I noticed the prices were going up and up, so I did another cash secured put, and I was able to get just about 6% on that because I bought out of the put before it expired so that I could use the capital for another trade I wanted to make. Corv was my worst performing stock. There was some really bad news with the FDA, so I ended up losing about $564 or 73% of what I had invested. It wasn't that big of a hit because I had diversified and everything else did pretty well. I had 3 calls and 1 put, and everything just kind of blew up. It went from about, I think, $2.20 down all the way to it's at about 50 cents right now. I think it's going to go up just a little bit, but I doubt it's going to go up all the way anytime soon. Aptos or APTO was another stock that had skyrocketed this month. I had bought my shares just over $250, and I was able to lock in about 11, almost 12% profit. So that was perfect. I was able to make about 18% with Veristem, and I did that by selling 1 covered call, and then I made another 11% just selling 1 cash secured put. Again, I could have made more, but I bought out of this early to make another trade. I was trading in Pacific Gas and Electric. I got in just under $10 a share and was able to get a 9% increase on just the stock value alone. I had also bought a call, and in 2 days it had pretty much tripled in value, and I sold that to get a nice profit. The last stock that I got into was ITCI, and I was able to get in just over $10 a share, and I made 24% at the time of the option expiring. I also had 1 cash secured put, and I was able to make about 15% off of that. And at the very end, when Tesla had released the Cybertruck, I figured that NIO, or this Chinese electric car manufacturer, would go up in price, so I sold a put that was in the money for $37, and NIO ended up going up just over $2.60 at the time of the expiration, which gave me a nice little profit of 14.8%. And I just wanted to point out that you might have noticed, if I had invested in the raw stocks instead of selling covered calls, I probably could have made a lot more money because most of the stocks I was investing in more than doubled in price. But the main reason I am sticking with covered calls is because they do limit the downside. I might be playing around with a few more uncovered stocks this coming month, but for the most part, I do want to stick with some covered calls and cash secured puts. So that was all my trades for last month. I'm starting to put together my list for this month, and hopefully we're going to see another pretty good return. I'm hoping for about 15 to 20%, but 10% is my goal. So see you guys next time. Make sure you ring that bell and subscribe.